envelop. While I waited for the shower to warm up, trying to breathe through the panic that had clapped its arms around me the second I tried to undress, it had seemed like the only way to forget a new fear was to retreat into an old one. "I mean, the laundry machines downstairs are still broken, right?" I said. "Thought I could multitask." Mom didn't laugh. She bundled me out of the bathroom and told me to get into fresh clothes. I changed as fast as I could into a tank top and sweatpants, trying not to look at either myself or the spot in my bedroom where a boy had stood the week before. Once dressed, I went out to sit in the kitchen and listen to my mother wring out my wet clothes in the bathroom, water slapping thickly into the tub. "I can do that myself," I yelled. "You're not coming anywhere near this bathroom right now." "Stop freaking out," I said. "God, you make a big deal about everything. I was in the shower. Is that it now? You've just decided I don't get to have privacy?" My mom's face appeared around the doorframe, white and drawn. "You stopped answering me," she said. "You can't do that. You've made a disaster out of this bathroom, and we've probably leaked through to the floor below, and I'll get yelled at by the landlord again, and I can't—" She pressed her forehead to the wall, the line of her throat shuddering like there was something living underneath the skin. I could almost feel her disappointment, like a physical force pressing me down into the floor. "I'm sorry," I said. "There's been a report that someone's been dumping garbage on our property," my mother said. "What?" "At the cottage. And I have no way to contact Roger because he doesn't have a phone. I can't deal with this right now on top of—" She waved a hand at me. I was a thing to be dealt with now, I guess. "What about what's-his-face?" I asked. "Doesn't he live in the area? Can't you ask him to go check out the property and kick Roger's butt?" "If you're referring to Joe, his son is visiting. I don't want to bother him." Joe was my mother's new boyfriend. I guess new implies that there were other ones, which really isn't the case. Mom hadn't dated for years, or at least she hadn't told me about a boyfriend in years. She didn't even tell me about this one at first. Sure, I knew something was up. She'd been wearing her Celine Dion perfume and biting her nails less, staying out for evening meetings and coming home late for a while now. She hadn't had a boyfriend since I was 13, but I knew what it looked like on her. When she finally let slip a couple weeks ago about dating Joe, she told me he'd lived in the town by the cottage since they were kids. She'd reconnected with him in the winter when he was in the city for a business trip. "You've met him before, but you wouldn't remember it," she'd told me. "You used to play with his daughter when you were both very little." So I'd known there was a daughter involved, but this was the first time I'd heard of a son. Did this guy also have a wife and 7 dogs squirreled away somewhere? "You could just go to the cottage. It's not that long a drive, right?" I asked. "I'm not leaving you here alone right now," Mom said. She sat down across from me on the other side of the kitchen island, rubbing a hand over her jaw as if it had slipped out of place. Once after I came home bleeding from a fight with the girl next door, she went over and yelled at the girl's parents so loud that her jaw kept clicking for hours afterward. I remember getting scared that her face would never return to normal. After I apologized and apologized, I took her cheeks in my hands, feeling the seam where the bones had gone wrong. Right now, she didn't look like a different shape than the one I knew. She just looked tired. I got up, put on the kettle, and found the chamomile tea in the cupboard. We both probably needed something calming. "Is he grown up?" "Sorry?" "The son, if he's visiting, does that mean he's like an adult?" Mom looked at me. "What, I can't ask questions about them?" "He's not an adult," Mom said stiffly. "He was the product of a relationship that Joe had years ago. It's his business, Dell, and not something I'm really comfortable getting into right now. I haven't been focused on Joe the past few days given recent events with you." She went very still after that. Or maybe I did. There was a soft pop, and when I looked down, tea leaves were stuck to my palm. I'd squeezed the tea bag so hard that it had burst. I hadn't felt it happen. The kettle broke the silence with a thin little scream. "Then why didn't you tell me about him earlier?" I asked in a sing-song voice. "It's not the same thing, and you know it," Mom snapped. 16-year-olds don't get to have secrets like adults do. I switched